Ladies and gentlemen, the Kuro slash Wuwa league drought is finally very slowly ending as we near the first beta for 2.8, which includes both Chisa and Buling. And with this upcoming special event, of course, leakers want to get a little bit of attention around this time, and so they've been giving some actual half-decent info for once. Right. Now, you guys will remember my original prediction from a long time ago, right? When Chisa was very first stripped, was that she was either like a Havoc DPS or she'd be for negative status, third slot, right? This made the most sense as Spectro Rover likes being in Zanny's team, although you can use SK. Spectro Rover with better play is usually just better, and he's the best option if you don't own Phoebe for Zanny. And then Arrow Rover is also the exact same case scenario where it's like, yeah, you can use SK instead of Arrow Rover, but specifically because of Arrow Rover's sequence increases and as well as his weapons refinements giving arrow damage amp, not bonus, it led to him getting a bigger and bigger gap for ahead of SK. And so now we are here with Chisa. Chisa has now been leaked to be a best in slot, third slot healer with Cartethia and as well as Zanny, replacing both Spectro Rover and as well as Arrow Rover, respectively. Right. Now, here's the one thing I'd say don't get your hopes up too much about. So far, from the leaks we know, Chisa does not inflict any type of like spectral frazzle or arrow erosion or any of that. She is Havoc Bane based and does have Havoc Bane damage, but there is nothing currently leaked about her actually inflicting other negative statuses. So this means she's not really a Phoebe replacement or a Chacona replacement in any means for either of these teams, and you still want to prioritize pulling Phoebe for Zanny and pulling Chacona for Cartethia, respectively. Right. So Chisa is supposedly able to amp the negative status damage that characters on the team deal and also heal, right? So it's being able to heal, amp negative status damage, and increase the max stacks of negative status, however many that you can inflict. I believe Arrow Rover already has something like this, where he increases the max arrow erosion stacks that you can stack in a Cartethia team. So Chisa is basically doing the exact same thing, but just in general for old Dot, it seems. Right. So yeah, she's a best in slot, third slot healer for the negative status teams with a little negative status buffing. Now, there was a leak we got a day or two ago where a leaker said that Chisa has dual forms. Now, a lot of people were unfortunately misled out of pure cope. I mean, I'm a Chisa lover too, so I would have preferred her to be a DPS, that this meant she would be a Phoebe situation, where she could have one form where she's kind of a sub-DPS healer with Cartethia and Zanny, and then the other form turns her into a main DPS that can work very effectively. But it has been now clarified, dual form does not mean dual role, right? It straight up just means dual form, similar to Camellia, who has two different forms for when she does AoE damage or single target damage. So no, Chisa does not really have a multiple role kit. It is designated towards one specific role, which is being a third slot healer slash buffer for both the Zanny and Cartethia teams. Right. So the last thing here is the new 4-star Buling. We haven't had a 4-star in a very, very long time. At this point, HSR and Wuwa have been having a competition, but of course, HSR lost. They completely forgotten 4-stars even exist at this fucking point, right? So a lot of people have been hyped. Will this 4-star actually be good? What will Buling do? What will she offer? Will Kuro finally break the mid 4-star curse, considering the current only really goated 4-stars, in my opinion, are both Mortefi and as well as Sanhua, right? Well, with a bit of info from Seal Leaks, apparently Buling is an electro rectifying healer, right? So we're not going to have a Don Jin situation where you can have a really strong 4-star, DPS. This is going to be someone who is more designated towards being a healer. And then further clarified with a little more information by Seal Leaks, she is a resonance skill buffer who does heavy attack damage. So that's pretty interesting. A healer who buffs resonance skill damage, and I don't know how that will age, of course. I don't want to doom post yet, as beta is upcoming soon, so there's no guarantee that she's underwhelming, but doesn't really sound all that promising on paper, in my opinion. That's just me, though, right? I'm simply here to deliver the news of the most recent leaks, and that is all I have for you all. Quick recap. Chisa will be a Havoc Bane character, meant to be a 3rd slot healer in both Zanny and Kartethia's teams. She does not replace the value of Phoebe or Chacona, but likely only amplifies it, and she's as well able to amplify negative status damage and increase the max stacks of negative status you can inflict on enemies, right? And Buling, she is supposedly an electro rectifier character who can heal as well as resonance skill buff and dishes out some bit of her own heavy attack damage. Love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. Peace out. There's only 30 seconds left on this video till I hit the 8-minute mark, so I'm gonna stretch it out a bit just so I can make a bit more money. I'm penniless, guys. Please support the videos. No, but in all seriousness, I basically instantly gave up making a new account on Wuwa. You guys might have already seen the community post on it, but holy fuck, I underestimated just how much more taxing it is to like completely farm overworld pulls in an open world game as compared to a turn-based game. For some reason, this just didn't occur to me in the slightest. So I dropped that. Didn't drop Wuwa. I'm still playing on my main account, but I just severely underestimated it. And yeah, I'm already focused on trying to get E6 and Noxa, fucking scraping the barrel, trying to find any pennies I can to try and hit his E6. I'm already busy as is, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry to you guys. I was gonna, undercover make a video where I tried to clear endgame content as quick as possible as like a noob, just entering the game, picking up Galbraina, Lupa, maybe QU1, but I basically instantly folded. It was just too much alongside my IRL shit. Love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. Peace out.